If you are a Republican, or if you are a conservative, or if you are America First, or if you are MAGA, you are going to love this next article from The Hill. Republicans make inroads in New York, New Jersey, and a whole bunch of other states, putting Democrats on the defense. It's all about winning, baby. Republicans made inroads in New York and New Jersey this election, spurring hopes that the party could further erode Democratic grips on the state, as seen as deep blue bastions. Right? Sounds pretty cool. Vice President Harris won New Jersey and New York by far slimmer margins than President Biden in 2020. He had won New Jersey by 15 points and New York by 23. Harris carried each state only by 5 points. That is a wild swing. New York by 5 points, so she lost 10. Lost more in New York. Picked up some House seats. Now, we saw something similar in the midterms with the red wave that didn't really materialize. There was a guy in New Jersey that spent almost no money on his campaign. There was a state election. He almost ousted like a 40-year senator there, and that is awesome. Bad news for Democrats in these states, especially New Jersey, because Scott Presler has already said in public he is coming for you. He's going to start registering people to vote in those states. I would like to see something in Virginia too. That seems to be like really close as well. We're talking 2 to 5 points. That's actually a lot in the grand scheme of things if you look at how races actually split. However, can you pick up a House seat? Can you flip the state? Obviously, for the Electoral College, that'd be epic. Can you pick up a Senate or something like that? In New York and surrounding counties, Trump made significant gains, winning precincts in Queens and Manhattan that had been solidly blue for decades. Across both states, Asian Americans, Hispanics, and black voters all cast ballots for Harris, but at significantly lower margins than they did for Biden. We saw historical numbers for Republicans in New York, and that's really something we can build upon. David Lasky, spokesperson for the New York GOP. Republicans in both states view Harris's weak performance as an opportunity to advance ahead of the potentially competitive New Jersey governor's race and the New York mayoral race. I don't think the Republicans should waste time on the New York mayoral race. That ain't gonna happen. Let's just focus on the governor's race. It's probably the best thing to do. They're not focused on economic issues and social issues and energy mandates, but the trends matter because Republicans have the best shot after 2 terms as Governor Murphy and a Democrat making everything more expensive, said New Jersey GOP strategist Janet Hoffman. Media host Mike Spindea, might have said that wrong, and 2021 GOP gubernatorial nominee Jack Cottarelli, have already declared on the Republican side. Democrats in both states have criticized the National Party for not focusing on the economy or immigration, pointing to strong congressional elections, including Democrats flipping 3 seats in New York and hanging on to all their seats in New Jersey, while also electing Republican Annie Kim, D, New Jersey, to the Senate. It's the economy, stupid, was true this first time around and would have helped for Harris to have come out much sooner and have a greater amount of time to campaign. Yes, she should have done her coup way earlier. You're right. She should have done her coup way earlier. She should have directly spoken to issues at the top of the minds of voters, said State Senate J.C. Ramos, who is running for New York City mayor next year. God, I don't know who the freak would want that job. According to Democratic officials and strategists, each of the 3 New York candidates spend time focusing on economy and immigration, which helped them run ahead of Harris in their district. Ramos said Harris spent too much time courting voters in the middle and not activating her base, and took New York for granted. Okay, I do believe that statewide they probably took New York for granted, but if you look at that campaign, the last really 3 to 4 weeks, she really wasn't pitching anything to the people in the middle. It was GOTV, like the whole way. Get out the vote. That's all that matters. We got to activate the base. That was the biggest thing. Her problem is that her message didn't sync with the base. Her message, her everything, her base was unmotivated by her messaging, by her in general, by the dissolution of the coup that she had enacted with the Obamas. And they just weren't going to show up for that. They just weren't going to show up for that. And that was their biggest issue. Rep. Richie Torres said Democrats also ran weak on immigration, not proving the case against Trump's plan to deal with the undocumented migrants in New York and New Jersey. Well, you did have a Democrat try to say something about immigration, how they just simply can't handle it. And as soon as he did, he came under investigation. Yes, he came under investigation. Look, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. I don't know exactly what he did. I'm sure it was illegal. But the thing is that he was protected until he spoke up against illegal immigration, because that is ultimately the 20-year plan for the Democratic Party. He said, hey, I can't take this anymore. The city can't maintain this anymore. This is a mistake. We have to slow down. We have to undo this. Boom. Under investigation. Since 2022, I've seen an overwhelming wave of migrants whose impact was found not only at the border, but in cities like New York, whose shelter system and social safety and municipal finances have been completely overwhelmed, said Torres. We know from the polling that there was widespread outrage over the migrant crisis, and in my view, that there was political malpractice on the part of the president while waiting 2 years before issuing executive order regulating migration and border crisis. Yeah, it wasn't that they waited too long to do something, is that they purposely waited to the last minute just before the election and it was on people's mind to do something. Right? They do this all the time with these big issues that they actually don't care what Americans think about, but they have an agenda. They have their other reasonings. They have their dark money. They have their lobbyists. And they're like, okay, well, let's do something right before the campaign. You know, she started talking, I'm going to be hard on the border. I'm going to build the wall. No tips on time. I mean, she just really just try to take the Donald Trump platform and say it while laughing, and that was going to help her out or something. But we all know that it was fake, and the voters in the Democratic Party knew that it was fake. They knew she wasn't sincere about the things that she was saying. If they don't take stock of some of the reasons and the trends that they've been seen in the last 3 years among minority voters in particular, may be making a terrible mistake that could cost them down the road in statewide races. And the level of control of the legislators and even the upcoming mayoral race, however, Leroy Jones, chair of the New Jersey Democratic Party, said Democrats have learned from the election and will focus on economics messaging during 2025 race in New Jersey. Now, notice he just said focus on the messaging and not the actual freaking issue. Yeah, that's right up the alley for the Democratic Party in those areas. I think our messaging this time around was not as direct because oftentimes we try to be the nice party and not speak too harsh to the harsh realities that we're facing, Jones says. I think during the governor's race, candidates will actually speak to the quality of life and affordability of making New Jersey a place people can retire and live comfortably. The campaign is already in full swing with Jersey City Mayor Steve Fulop, New York Mayor Ras Baraka, and these other reps declaring their candidacy. And also we have someone else planning a run, Mikey Shirelli. Or Sherelle. I'm very sorry for butchering your names, but I actually don't care. So as you can see, they barely held on in a lot of these seats. It didn't flip red or anything like that, but it got way too close for comfort. And they're addressing, hey, well, we need to speak about these issues. And nowhere in the article said they're going to actually address these issues, which is so funny. They're not going to address any of the issues. They're just going to speak about them in a better way, you know, closer to the election cycle. And that way they'll still get the votes, but not actually fix any of the issues facing their constituents. That's going to continue to lose credibility with the people in their areas, their constituency. And that's just going to be a long-term win for Republicans. This is the best part about it. Republicans really haven't put a full good foot forward in these areas because they have seemed hopeless for such a long time. Not this time. This is a full offense, flood the zone, register people, get out the vote, restructure the parties in these areas, find good candidates, not only for mayor, not only for the state or for senator and the governor. No, we're talking state reps, school boards, the judges, the sheriff. Get good people to come out and be good candidates. And that has a massive effect across the entire ballot. People are affected by different things. People are motivated by different things to come out and vote. It's not always just a one message that's going to get everyone out to vote. So if you have someone that's like, dude, I actually don't care about the economy. I'm really well off, or I'm on a fixed income. I'm living with family. I mean, most people are, interested in the economy to some degree, but maybe their thing is education and they don't like what's happening with education, but really there's been no one that has moved them to come out and vote until the Republican Party can put together a new board of people that can come out for school board, right? That can get people to come out and vote. Maybe a new sheriff, maybe some new judges, some new DAs, things of that nature. Obviously, we saw Virginia come out. They have that off-cycle election than everyone else, so it kind of gets the biggest media. But, I mean, Daily Wire dropped an amazing piece a couple weeks before the election that probably had a really big deal flipping that state to a red governor. When you have those people in those positions, it has a trickle effect if they're effective at their job, right? They can structure how things are done in the state house, how things are done in the Senate, the policing, the economy. Now you have an infrastructure where you can lift up other smaller candidates and kind of bring them under your wing if you're an effective politician and want to do that and build the coalition. So things are looking very bright for the future. I can't say that enough. I've been saying that so much. Things are just looking brighter and brighter for the future. Of course, we're going to have some, turbulence ahead. That's totally fine. We just hang on tight. We keep our nose down, keep it against the grindstone. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, comment below, follow me on X. I'm going to be making more and more of these. We have some really great interviews coming up on our other channel that I will be posting and linking with local candidates around DFW, which I think that you're going to get a real kick out of because some of these people are really interesting. They have a lot to say, and what they are saying really does the things that they're wanting to do or change or get rid of or add to our local governments could really impact our lives in very meaningful ways. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.